Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Keeper. We're here with another week of Into the Witching Hour. I'm excited to be here. I know Stobez is excited to be here. We're all excited to be here. Um, we're getting into spooky season. I have to say, I'm excited for that. As soon as the weather changes and we start to feel that crisp cold air, I start to think of Halloween and we start to get into that season. And I think we're almost just about there. And here comes on Mason X. And we saw him recently in Kill City Watch Along. Welcome.
How goes it?
I was just saying today I think your mic is getting some feedback.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on, let me see if I can mute this so we can do this.
That's okay. The first time I talked with Mason X, this whole thing sounded like it had like triple echoes. It was great. It was like we were in a church. But we recently watched Kill City Cup. We did the watch along. You saw Mason X. He was the guy with the mask, almost like the Jason mask.
Okay.
And here he is. He's getting on now to talk. And he does wrestling just other than that movie too. We see him all over Maine and close to me. So it's good to see the characters kind of come to life.
Oh yeah, it was a fun watch.
Yeah, no, definitely a fun watch. But like I said, like you go to a show, you kind of see the character wrestling. It's like, wow, now you're seeing it outside of a movie setting into a live event setting with live crowd cheering and stuff.
Oh yeah. Do they have matches of his on YouTube or anything?
Yeah. His mic's still not working, but I believe MPW should have some matches out right now.
Okay.
And there's a few other, like I said, you type in Mason X main wrestling, like a whole bunch of stuff just pops up.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
But the matches are incredible, and like I said, even more incredible to me is the work that he puts into the mask. When I met him at, where was it, Brewer, Maine, like way up there, I was seeing Canadian signs. I was seeing like Tim Hortons and stuff. I knew if I kept going, they were gonna ask for my passport. But I went up there and I saw the convention that they were doing for Kill City Cup, and he had all these masks that he had made, handmade, and they were just like they're movie quality masks. They're Savini quality, honestly.
Nice.
But is the mic still not working?
How bad is the feedback?
No feedback.
All right, I'll just try to be a little bit quieter and mute it when you're talking. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. But yeah, we were just talking a little bit about how you are on the scene in that movie, and how do you think it was playing? Like, how do you play both off? How do you go into an event as Mason X different than you would have gone into the city as Mason X? I know it's video, but you have like almost the same persona.
For me, Mason X did not change much in between Kill City and what I do normally, other than it did allow a little more creativity with my presentation, which was very nice. Luke just runs a tight ship, and there's more things we would have done if I wasn't such a late addition. Like there's a lot of ideas we've had since, and we'll probably incorporate into a later Kill City.
Yeah, we're still waiting for two.
Yeah, we did some stuff in New York that was really cool. Some live show stuff in the vein of Kill City, but like a live action thing. That was really cool. My matches, because they're usually with slightly more story built up going into them, there's a little more thought going into the actual performance there. But the benefit of the Kill City stuff is we had chances to do multiple camera angles that we don't normally get to do on very small indie shows. sound effects, lighting. There was all that I don't normally have available to me.
No, so that's what I'm saying. It's cool to have that, where you get to bring that character to life. You get the movie character, then you bring him to a live event, and you get to kind of continue the story in a different way. Like almost if you was seen, like, how would you see Freddy Krueger if he was, appearing here? How would Freddy Krueger act if he was appearing there? Kind of the same thing. Like this is Mason X now at MPW. This is Mason X, like Crown of Wrestling wherever you go. We're getting that like iteration of Mason X.
Now it's wicked fun to play that character. One day I'd like to do just a Mason X movie. That I think would be real fun.
I would love to do that. I would even love to be like a part of that somehow. Help film it, help something creative right here. I believe in the character. I think that's just a great character. And I'm big into the horror characters. And I was talking to people earlier, I had an interview. And a lot of the horror characters that you see, whether it be mainstream or indie scenes, don't stick or aren't done right. People try to get the Undertaker. People try to do and like recreate that, and most of the time it doesn't happen. Very few characters can pull it off. That dark character. Bray Wyatt was able to do it. Wyatt Six is able to do it right now. You're able to do it right now. Cruel's able to do it.
Cruel is
not everybody's
definitely
able to do it. We got Chad. Welcome, Chad.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much.
No, we were just talking about. I was asking if there's a difference between playing the character on TV or doing the live shows.
There is one difference I actually just thought of. My character in the TV or in the movies that we do for Kill City, he's allowed to be a little bit more off the wall, a little bit more extreme than he would be at a wrestling show, because a wrestling show, one, it's live, and two, there's certain family-friendly constraints I have to operate.
You can't kill somebody.
Well, I mean, could, but might be a crime.
Not the way the Kill City was allowing. People were ripping each other's souls. People were getting down. There was a huge rumor that Jimmy Jacobs was dead. People were hitting me up. Did Jimmy really die? You could thank Luke for that.
I was like,
You went in there with the sad emojis, and I got people going, wait a minute, is he dead? People are hitting RIP. I'm like, wait, just hold on. I was hitting certain people I know, like, look, that's the movie, you'll understand.
Yes, his character died. But no character in Kill City truly stays dead. They might be reanimated by magic, brought back as a cyborg. It's like
I told my wife, she was very upset what happened with the machine. I'm like, well, machine can be rebuilt. And I am excited to see, because I did hear rumors not too long. Well, now it is getting long ago. Queen Gia came on. She did say there was a Kill City coming out at some point. And then it was kind of silent. But like I said, we keep the eyes and ears open on them. We just did a recent watch along with some new other people too as well. They're not here right now. Gladys and Rob. They had never seen it either as Golbez, and I still show people the movie. I still think it's, a year later, I've watched it probably 1,000 times. I'm still intrigued by it, and I still can watch it.
No, with Kill City, I'm very proud of what Luke did with that, what I did in that. I still bill myself as a madman from Kill City. I'm hyping that up even as I go into this Faces of Horror contest for a third year in a row. Hopefully I win this year, but if not, I won't die. Maybe. Be cool 13,000 if I do win. And I'll use that to probably fund my own little personal horror movie. There's some great places here in Maine to film some killing.
Yeah, you got a lot of woods area up there, don't you?
You got all the land out there. You can do great movies.
I have some very beautiful land up at my camp, which is on a river, and there's a woods there, everything, be a perfect spot. There is the mill, there's an abandoned mill over in Vassalboro, Maine, that would be just perfect. The interior is spooky, it's grimy in certain spots, and there's electricity in there too, because it's partially run, like they have like a small store in part of the building that's still salvageable, and they sell things out of there, but the rest of it, it's dark, creepy, be perfect to film something.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And that's the
Nice.
cool thing about Maine. There's so much cool stuff out there that's just like not used land or land that's just not inhabited. I wish I could find a place where nobody was. Like honestly, everywhere I go, there's somebody or a person or a bunch of people. I like to be where there's nobody for like just like maybe 5 minutes. Get a little peace and quiet.
Maine's the place to be if you're looking for peace and quiet. Where I live, small town, few thousand people, if that, and where my camp is, it's about 30 minutes outside of this town. Ain't no one there. You might hear a vehicle go by like maybe once every couple hours on the main road. That's about it.
I mean, it might be lonely, but it's also got to be peaceful.
My family goes out there. We're actually going out there this weekend. Might film some small vignettes, might not. Haven't decided yet. Can't find my trusty machete.
You lost your machete?
Well, my good one. Rumor has it the wife knows where it is.
That's even scarier. I hope you trust the wife.
This monster, I'm scared. No, my wife is. Make her mad. See what happens.
Yeah, now if she has your good machete, I'd be afraid.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that.
Yeah, because that's my heavy chopper. It weighs, I think, like 4 pounds. It will chop. If it was sharp, like if I hadn't dulled it for conventions and stuff, it would chop someone's arm off. If it's like somebody my size swung at full swing. It chops for small trees, like that are like that thick, like a couple chops, if that. And that's like not even me really trying super hard. Granted, I'm almost 400 pounds, so.
Now, is that
Yeah,
the same one
you're
that you
all
brought to the
right.
premiere in Portland?
What was that?
Was that the same one that you brought to the premiere in Portland?
Yes, and they didn't like me having it.
Yeah, that thing would do some damage.
Yeah, even if you were to swing at somebody, it would have done some real damage.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna work on getting a convention safe version of that. Maybe have like some EVA foam or fiberglass or something. I've got to make a mold of it, cast it, and that way I'll be able to have that for the conventions that don't like metal props, even if they're dull.
How do you have like a horror convention without metal props?
I'm sure they were doing it for the safety of the fans and stuff. Because, like, for example, the metal blades they sell there, you can't take them out until you leave the premises. They have them zip tied shut and stuff like that in the scabbards. So I get it, but man,
That's why you go to weapons. That's why you go to weapons conventions where they're selling knives, and then you just bring whatever you want.
now the one we did in New York, they didn't care. I had my grandfather's rusty, bloodied hammer that I've gotten some fake blood and real blood on. I wish it was not my blood, but I smashed my finger one time. Looked really cool. Had my big old chopper machete. I don't think I brought my sickle with me. I have a sickle and a scythe. I got an old school Evil Dead 2 style home light chainsaw I could have brought, but I don't think people would approve a running chainsaw. It's vintage though. It looks just like the one from Evil Dead, except it's not hand mounted, but it's a beauty.
Nice. That's nice. See, now I can see why you say like you can't do all the total full Mason acts at like a regular indie show because the fan base, the kids, the safety precautions. But in a movie set or in your own setting of making a movie, you could go like Terrifier 3 if you wanted. Do whatever you want.
I cannot wait for that movie. So that is one horror character in modern times that really resonates with me, although he's not a Mason X character. He's silent. He is terrifying, sarcastic. He captures some Freddy Krueger vibes for me, even though he doesn't speak, because he's almost like he's sadistic. He's kind of sarcastic in his mannerisms.
Almost like the Connie and like the Connie in you.
To come out in a long time.
Yeah, and I saw that he had trouble with that third movie getting it produced by a major Hollywood production because it was so graphic that he just went out and self-did it. I'm really kind of seeing what's going to go. They're also saying that the guy threw up on set.
I'm sure it'll be cool. I'm jealous though of some of the funding that he has. Like as of the second film, when they start having a bigger budget. Oh, if Luke and I had that kind of budget, the things we would do. We'd get
Yeah,
a
I mean,
couple.
then you could spread it out. You could put more into the movie scene and more of the action scene, and even not a lot of it. Didn't need a lot. That's what I liked really about Kill City is that it wasn't a drawn out movie. It said the story in perfect timing.
If you gave Luke a $500,000 shooting budget, the stuff he could pull off, because he's got a great mind, and the stuff he doesn't know how to do, he brings in people who do. He doesn't just take his good ideas. He will look for other good ideas from others. Like we collaborated. And it wasn't just me with him too. There was other people who gave lots of good ideas, contribute artwork, props, makeup effects, lighting. It was a collaborative effort. So with
That's the
five,
way to do it, honestly. Like
Yeah.
even this podcast, like it's not just one person. Like we collab, we do collaborations, we collab people. That's how you kind of get ideas. That's how you get something new. Everybody has their own idea, but when you start to get other people's ideas and put the two together, then you get like that fresh idea, something new that no one's seen. It's like, oh wow, look at this. Makes a difference. What's that? Kill City Cup. Going to the that show that I did go and seeing the sketches, the old sketches, and all the stories behind them and stuff. It was inspiring to see that somebody had a dream. And they got to see it come through. They made it to fruition, which a lot of people don't do that. They don't have either the will, the drive, or the funds to get it to that next level. And he was able to pull it all off at any cost.
No, he has the ability to inspire and also make things happen. I don't know if I told you this. I might have. I was on the verge of just walking away from wrestling entirely, and then the opportunity to do Kill City came up. It all happened literally. I saw the clip of the dude Mojo powerbombing the young lady from NWA whose name is escaping me right this second. I hate that. I was like, oh, this set looks so cool. So I messaged him about it. He's like, I'm doing this thing called Kill City. It's these crazy monsters all fighting it out. And I was like, I would love to be part of that. He's like, you want to come down? I was like, you're kidding. Where? Florida. Oh, dude, I'd have to like fly down or something. He's like, I got you. I was like, you're kidding. And so here I am flying down to Florida, meeting people from NWA, AEW, Ring of Honor. He has all these people involved, April Hunter, and I got to be part of that. And it was just the coolest thing. It kind of woke me back up to wanting to do something creative.
And it even, like I said, inspired the little man like me. It made me want to invent my podcasting series, re-interview people, bring guests on like yourself, bring the Dr. Mercury on. I got to talk to April Hunter. I got to talk to Gia, Mr. Kill, Jimmy Jake, all these amazing people in the wrestling industry and also in the film industry. And it became, like I said, almost a rejuvenation of the BSW for myself. And I'll be ever grateful. And again, it was me just scrolling through YouTube, or not even Facebook, and seeing the clip of something that looked different. And when I saw it, I watched the video, and that made me, want to watch the whole thing. And then I talked to Luke a little bit later and asked him questions about. He was looking for people with higher YouTube numbers, and I was like, yeah, I got a decent YouTube channel. And he was like, wow, like you really do. And we just started talking and just having, a good talk and bouncing ideas, kind of like you said, and we just became friendly. And one thing led to another, and kind of feeding me talent to talk about the show. And the more he was, telling me about it, the more I was talking to him, the more inspired I got to do even more and to really get into it. And it just spiraled. And I'm still going today. Like I said, I'm still talking about today. I still do shows about today. I try to talk to them today. There's still a few people on my list that I want to talk from that show, like and Matt Seidel. Also, I would love to talk to the Machine, but he has got to do something from AEW. But again, and where that the whole movie came up with a sequel, a third, a fourth. There's endless possibilities with the City Cup because creativity didn't die with it. Like it just began as spark, and everybody's got these creative ideas and want to see backstories. And you're probably like, where did this one come from? Was Mason X locked away in his cell for 20 years? What was that like? What was he like before that? How did he get to be this way? How did Mr. Kill get the power? How did King Fear get the power? Who's in real power? There's like so many different stories you can go with that.
There's a lot of things you can do with the backstory of each character. I would love to flesh that out if Luke has the time and budget, or if I have to, I'll even film some of it for my particular character myself, as I have access to people to help me film and whatnot. But each character you could do so much with. Jimmy Jacobs' character would be Hecate's Hangman would be fun to expand upon.
Even
April Hunt's character.
Bone, Voodoo guy. He was like pulling people's souls, on fire. And then, of course, even Zipmon. He was another one. I want to see why he really, decided to take the oath.
I can almost picture the backstory of Zipmunk, like him, whatever trauma he's going through, and he's sitting there in front of a mirror carving, like he got somebody doing a special effects, so he could get that kind of carving effect as he's going. I think that'd be so cool. Just even if you were like little five
character could spin on.
Even if you're just doing like each character has his own 5-minute short, just a little snippet of their past, that would be cool.
Yeah, almost like if you ever seen like ABC's The Death, like do like a little like segment of like each wrestler, but like that's short even, and it would be cool just to see something else, and that's why I think I like seeing your matches, because for me it's a continuation of Kill City. I get it, you got like a whole career, but for me it's like I'm seeing that character, I said, come to life. I'm seeing, like I said, what happens if Jason was to show up at another street, or Freddy was to show up not announced, but on another street, how would it look? Well, that's how he looked at like Mason X showing up at MPW. How's he gonna do there? What's he gonna do there? And plus, getting just to see it in the match way, it's a different match style. You're getting to wrestle, you're getting to do a little bit more, where the other way is a little bit more cinematic. I suspect.
It was a different experience. That was my first time shooting something cinema, where we would do a take, reset, change positions, different camera angle, another take. But I enjoyed the challenge of it. But sometimes I like to have that live crowd feel. I almost wish Kill City could have been filmed in front of like a small studio audience, so that way there's a little bit more natural of a vibe, but still have the cinematography too. I'm sure there's a way to combine it if you bribe enough people to sit down and go along with it. But
yeah, I mean, you got like 3 or 4 right here, maybe more. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't think it'd be a problem finding someone to watch.
That would. I mean, Stobez, it was your first time watching the show. What did you think of it?
Well, like I said when we watched it, about the only thing I criticized was it would have been better if they could have had a bigger budget, which is exactly what Mason was saying. Otherwise, it wasn't bad. Storyline wasn't bad. The acting wasn't bad. It's just with the budget, they could have done a little bit more as far as the graphic part of it went. The sparks from the eyes for the machine, or the blood and things like that.
Yeah, no, of course. And like you said, you give Luke whatever budget, he's gonna bring that budget to the max and use it the most efficiently and the most effectively. He's gonna bring in anybody that he needs to get the job done. I think that is the benefit of Luke. He knows a lot of people. He's not afraid to reach out and really extend and really bring in and really, like you said, collaborate with anybody that's going to want to collab. And that's the way to be. To not be so inclusive, but not be so extra, be inclusive. And kind of get everybody's little take on what would make this look cool.
We spent, and the footage hasn't come to light yet, but we spent several hours this summer filming some stuff in his backyard. And you wouldn't know it was his backyard because it was nighttime and we did some lighting effects. And him and I would sit there with a camera while 2 of our actors were doing stuff. And we're trying this angle out and this angle out. We're trying to maximize the effect of it. And once it's done editing, I can't wait to see it. It's almost like a Kill City short, like a side story very small, very short, just a single fights, like 2 or 3 single fights, and I'm looking forward to seeing that once it's done editing. I have some of the raw footage myself because I'm working on doing an edit too, but he's also having another person doing the editing, so we get 2 different cuts of it, see what we like better.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't wait to see
editing can
that.
make all the difference. Look at like Halloween 5 or 6 rather. The way they had to edit it. 2 different editors, 2 different directors, could make 2 different movies.
And sometimes it's a good thing, and other times it's awful.
No, it's always good to kind of change things and see what could be and to play around with it. I think that's the beautiful part, whether it's cinema or even wrestling, if you have that ability to kind of explore and kind of get out some of the what ifs, you can see what ifs and what plays out and which one might be the right direction to go.
Indeed. And one of the cool things about being such a small fly under the radar kind of production, Luke's not beholden to any studios right now. It's small enough where all the creative input comes from him and his team. There's no one censoring us other than our choice to censor something. Again,
No, and
he's
that,
in
and
the-
again, that's why the guy from Terrifier 3 decided to bring it back to a smaller production team because he was getting censored. And sometimes in horror or in movies or in whatever, you really don't. You need a shock factor. And let's face it, we live in a world that's pretty shocking. Turn on the news and you're shocked. So you have to kind of step up the ante when you're making a horror movie. You really need it to be shocking or scary or something that's really going to. Sometimes that goes outside of what people think is acceptable.
One thing I think the original Kill City could have done better with more time, because Kill City 1 is truly a proof of concept more than anything, in my opinion, is we could have built up the backstories of the characters so you could have cared a little bit more about each individual character. So if one got killed off, the loss was more profound.
See, at the end of it, I didn't feel like anybody really died. I just figured maybe they were knocked out or carried out. But I didn't, I figured they'd be back. Or they could be back. Because cinema also, cinemas, does anybody really ever die? No, they always
One thing you could do leading up to the release of the second one, you could do like a 5 or 7 minute thing for each character, not as part of the movie, but kind of like a promo thing, I guess. What happened right before they got put in the tournament? You know what I mean?
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
You could almost
absolutely.
put like Mr. Kills as an elite mercenary team, like kidnapping some of the contestants, other people being convinced by Mr. Kills' lawyers or being seduced by Queen Gia. You know, there's all sorts of ways to get each person involved.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I think that's a good promotion.
ways. And I mean, there was a lot of characters I think that we would want to see more because the story wasn't really spelled out. Like again, I'm going to go back to the relationship of Mystic Killer and Queen G was very different because yes, they were sitting together, but you didn't really know who the power person was. Yes, they were working on the same team, but you also saw, Mr. Kill making deals behind people's backs, which means he could have made a deal behind Pia's back.
And I wouldn't put it past Mr. Kill at all.
No. And so, again, he might also just be just a pawn to Queen G, and he could just off with his head at any given moment. We weren't really explaining that.
I have a theory or two on that, but I can't share it right now because that might spoil a few things.
Like I said, we can't wait. We really can't wait for part 2 and keep seeing where it goes. Like I said, I'm going to continue to keep showing audiences, the film that haven't seen it, and, because I really think it's a special piece in not only wrestling but also in, special horror genre, special combat genre like Mortal Kombat. It belongs with all these different genres. It's won many awards now.
I mean, we had a little bit of comedy in there. We had drama, horror, action, think the only thing we didn't cover is what, romance? You know, I mean, we could probably sneak that in there somewhere if we didn't have a. This is why I need to win the Faces of Horror and get that 13 grand, because we could go use that as some seed money and get something else going.
Well, yeah. Um, but it did. It was a complete story, and again, I'm going to credit where credit's due. It was told in a timely fashion. You got major TV productions that can't tell such a good story in 4 to 5 hours. And he edited it down, took it down to about a little bit, maybe under or over an hour, but it tells the whole thing. The matches aren't too short, but they're not drawn out either. The spots are all there. Again, it's cinematic wrestling, similar to something kind of you saw on maybe like Lucha Underground, some of the other cinematics, but it was also real too. It felt a little bit different. It wasn't the same. It wasn't like a WWE, film where it was like, really cinematic like in a movie. It felt a good mix. And the matches felt real, but it also, again, they told a story. There was good special effects, the fireballs, sucking the soul, people hanging people. And when the monster, the machine came in and he was just beating people left and right. And one of the things I know some people weren't fans of, I like the little fatality kind of things where somebody would get kicked or something, you see the little blood splatter to the top. I like that. I thought that was fun.
I liked it too. I just wish we'd had the budget to realize it in a more complete and less corny fashion. But it has its own charm to the way it is. But imagine what we could have done with slightly better special effects in that regard. Like was mentioned earlier, the machine's eye, or like my soul coming out, or the fatalities. Could have been real cool stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean with the right special effects, and it's not even post effects or computer effects, it's real old school effects, and taking the time to apply them and getting FX artists to come in and do this the stuff. But it would change kind of the outlook of how some of these matches ended, and you could have made almost an alternate version of it that would have been rated MA, because it would have been so graphic.
I told him I wanted to do a live controlled burn, a burn effect, kind of like how Kane Hodder did in Friday the 13th Part 7. Maybe not anywhere near as long, but, maybe my arm's on fire or something. I like practical effects like the 80s. I feel like a lot of those still hold up pretty well compared to CGI.
They do.
I thought you were going to say regular Kane. I'm like, don't come out with just the circles under your eyes. That doesn't fly for me.
But I think there's something to be said about how Savini could get the blood pumping, or like somebody's throat slit, and there's something to be had with that because it's real, it's visceral, and I would love for us to bring on a couple special effects people in a future one to do a little bit more practical. There's some things we dabbled in, and we were trying to jerry rig them the day of, and didn't have time to make them fully realized. But if we could have.
But I mean, even a very effective trick, I think that wouldn't involve a lot of special effects would be at the end of the match if you took your opponent's head and you cinematically snap their neck, and they would just fall down lifeless dead. It's like, okay, you killed them. Shit, that's the end. Fatality. It doesn't take no blood. It's something that's used a lot in movies. It's not used a lot in wrestling, and it would get a hell of a shock. People are like, my God.
And all it costs you to get a really good sound effect is a little bit of celery.
Yeah, that's it. Just a little snap, and you could just time it right. It would be time appropriate to wrestling, and you would have this crazy looking fatality. Like, okay, he just finished the match, and instead of a pin, he snapped his neck like he's dead. You just have some people bag him, tag him, and bring him out in a bag, and he's gone. It would be crazy. It would be crazy. But yes, there's a lot of different things I think you can do, and again, I can't wait to see them all. I love hearing the ideas. I love talking about it. I still talk to people about it, because it did have that impact, and it changed the way again I looked at pro wrestling, because now you can add all these kind of horror things into it. Because prior there wasn't a lot of promotions that dealt with primary darkness or that kind of different characters that are on the dark kind of side. You got promotions with a dark character here and there. Like I mentioned, you get Cruel running around doing crazy things. He's awesome. But there's not a whole promotion of Cruel. And so when you have a promotion with all these dark characters, voodoo priests, killers, sadistic madmen, you have Hangman Hecate just waiting to cause chaos. It puts on a really nice, likely cast of characters, and it gives you a sense of this is like a real dangerous city. Kill City. It's not nice.
I wish we had maybe one person who's like a truly well-defined good guy on that. I think that might have been nice. That way there's like that one shining hope. Because most everybody was morally ambiguous at best.
Except the first guy the machine destroyed. He was a good guy.
He was.
They liked him. We don't know his name, God rest his soul, but he was a good guy. He came in, he came out.
Just not One Piece.
Well, I thank you, Mason X, for coming on. It's been a pleasure. And we hope to get more Kill City Cup news soon. Thank you.
And what I'm going to do next time before we do our next thing, I'm going to have to get like a headset or something so I don't have to deal with the feedback issues so I can talk normally and everybody else can talk without the buzz and reverb.
That'd be great. Well, you're more than welcome to come on anytime. We come Thursday nights, every Thursday, 8 o'clock. We talk horror. And like I said, the last time we did a Kill City watch one, so I figured we'd try to get you on and talk a little bit more about that. But most of the time, we're just shooting the shit, talking about horror movies, what's coming out, different variations of horror, and now we're getting into spooky season, so it's the time. So if you don't want to come on, you're more than welcome to. Thank you.
You know what tomorrow is, don't you? Friday the 13th.
Yes. It is. I got my whole Blu-ray set ready to play. I'm going to do the whole marathon. Watch them all.
We're going to watch from the camp, I think. We'll see how that goes.
Nice.
All right, gentlemen. You have a good evening.
You too.
Stay spooky.
Catch you later. Bye.
Well, there you go, folks. Great always having Mason X on. The only, like I said, downfall to it is his mic never works, and there's always some kind of haptic feedback where I end up sounding like I'm echoing in some kind of church, and it's very weird. I don't know if it's just because he's a killer or he's out in the middle of nowhere, kind of like you, Chad. I don't know. But
hey, who says we're not in the middle of nowhere together?
That's what I'm saying. You guys kind of looked like the bald heads. I was getting scared. Getting nervous. I had to keep looking at his bed to see here. I'm like, okay, yes, there's some. But no, always great having Mason X on. Honestly, he brings a different level to wrestling and to horror now. Very excited to see. But yes, that Terrifier 3, I'm seeing more press about, and I'm getting excited too. I have to say, it looks pretty fucking sick.
It does, and I like the change of scenery. They're doing it as a Christmas time setting this time, which will be definitely different. It'll kind of goes back to the old Tales from the Crypt episodes and things like that, where you had the serial killer hanging around on Christmas dressed up as Santa. It's definitely going to be kind of a different thing for the Terrifier franchise, but I'm looking forward to it.
I'm curious to see it too. I was more of a fan of the first one myself. I like the kills better in the second one, but the first one was more of that shock factor if you weren't expecting it to be quite what it was. Especially that first kill you get where he saws the girl in half. I mean, I was not expecting that one at all.
You weren't expecting someone to get sawed in half?
In the first one.
Well, no, I guess not. I remember when it was just kind of like, I got into it off the what was it, Halloween Tales or whatever that video was, where the girl finds a VHS.
All Hallows
Boy,
Eve.
Terrifier.
Yeah,
All Hallows.
I hadn't seen that until after I watched the first Terrifier.
Oh,
did Terrifier just happened to be on one of the streamings and I caught it. So
yeah, I caught All Hallows Eve 1, then I caught All Hallows Eve 2, which actually didn't have nothing to do with Terrifier, which I was kind of bummed. So I was like, damn, this clown is really cool. I want to see more. And then I got really psyched because I looked up, the movie and it said, Arthur Clown. So then I did another Google search and looked up Arthur Clown. And then I saw, oh shit, he's got a movie Terrifier. And I'm like, oh, I got to watch this. This is going to be great. And it was a whole movie dedicated to him. Like, oh, this is cool. Then Terrifier 2 came out. And, I knew they were going to do it because they have to, but they upped the violence, they upped the blood, they upped the gore,
Yeah.
also upped the budget. But now we got 3, and 3, like I said, just with the trailer alone, the buzz was saying that he couldn't, no major media promotion or anybody was going to touch it because right in the first scene, he kills a kid, he kills a little girl.
Yeah. No, and like I said, the second one wasn't bad. There wasn't a problem with it. It just, to me, I wasn't expecting the first to be as good as what it was, I guess.
I don't think I was
Yeah.
expecting any of them to be as good as what they were. I thought there would just be another B film, another just shorts of horrors that would just come out because there's a bunch on there.
Yeah.
All sorts of anthology horror, and a lot of them aren't good. A lot of them are just short, kind of crappy stories. But this one happened to stick, and it was like, oh, because the second one wasn't even that good, All Hallows Eve 2, not compared to the first. And so you have this, and then they ended up spinning off, and you're like, okay, it's a spin off. It's probably going to be really bad, and it's like, oh shit, it's actually really good. And it spun a different web of what a clown killer was because you have Pennywise on one hand, which was, yes, terrifying, but in a friendly way. And you got and you got and Art is just a fucking brutal killer. Like you said, he's sawing a woman in half, which is a funny scene because I ended up, we got COVID in 2020. I believe the movie came out prior to that, but we were sitting home watching film. My whole family was sick. Me, my mom, my dad, my wife, everybody. So they were gonna watch this movie, and I put it on, and my mom was watching it, and all of a sudden this lady gets started in half. She's like, "What the fuck are we watching?" I'm like, "I don't know. It was just on." She was mortified at the lady getting started in half. But we were like I said, we were sick, but
I think Terrifier 3 kind of has an advantage this year. We kind of talked about this earlier, where there really hasn't been a lot as far as big horror movies that came out this year.
no, there hasn't been, and it honestly touches my one of my probably my favorite genre in horror, and that's Christmas horror. It has its own kind of genre to it with movies, that have come out in the past, and I've seen other ones that have come out recent in times, and just different. It's becoming more of a thing that is a secondary holiday for horror. Is going to be Christmas now, and having art do something with that, it just brings that, to that. But also, you're right. We haven't had a big year in horror. There hasn't really been many releases, not in the major sense. I mean, we did get the Mickey Mouse film, but that was minor. Wasn't really all that great. It kind of exactly went how I thought it would go. Maybe a little bit better.
Well, I think we got Abigail, but that's another one where, not that the story was bad, but you kind of knew what was going to happen from the trailers anyways, so there wasn't much
And I just
added
saw,
to it, I guess, once you watched it.
and I just saw the event, and I mean, I can say it was mediocre. There really wasn't anything too shocking about the story, except I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna really spoil it, but I mean, it was a typical Shaman film. It wasn't. There's always those endings that are just like, oh, okay. Even in The Happening, it was like, oh, it's the wind. Oh, okay.
Did you watch The Watchers yet?
Which one? Is that the new one? No.
That's
Not seen that one yet.
Shyamalan's daughter made it.
I haven't seen The Watchers.
I think you'd like it. It's not the best, but
I mean, and I've been watching this film since The Village. I thought that was pretty clever. It was something different. Granted, it was at the end. It's like, oh, and that's been his whole thing at the end of the movie. It's like, oh,
yeah,
big build up and kind of a oh. But I will take them for what they're worth. Some of the scenes are pretty cool. Some of the suspense was really good. Even in The Happening, some of the killing, some of the death scenes, they were kind of creepy, I have to say. and making that R-rated, it took it to a different level than some of his other films. But again, these are what we got this year. There wasn't anything spectacular. There wasn't a bunch of horror films where we've had other years, back to back. There are all these, releases. We didn't really get that. A lot of the anthologies have been finished. They're not doing the Halloween reboots and stuff. That's passed. I haven't even seen that many straight to home releases. Normally, you get a bunch coming through, on Netflix and Google and Amazon and all these other places. Haven't seen that many of those either. I'm hoping October, it starts to pick up, but you never know. But I mean, there is some, you'll look at the title, say 2024, but again, nothing's been really notable. Nothing's been sticking out. I've been on kind of the search, the prowl for something worthy. I've had a real actually have had a real hard time in the last few months finding a good movie to watch. I have to say.
Well, the only one I can think of, it's not a movie, it's a series. But I think the show From is coming out with their new season either this month or next month.
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't know if you've seen that yet or not, Versace, but that one was actually pretty good.
I have not. I will have to look at it. It's a TV show.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Like, it's one of those where, I mean, they're 2 seasons in and you're finally starting to get a couple of answers of what was happening. But like through the first 2 seasons, it's pretty much, it's still a cool show. You don't really know what's causing everything that is happening in the show. It's one of those where they're in a town and they can't leave the town. There's these creatures that attack them.
Oh, talk about creatures. Here's Rob.
What's up, guys?
Rob. What's
Hey,
Hey, what's happening?
What's up, brother?
We're
I'm
just
just
talking.
talking horror.
Mason X was on a little bit earlier. He was talking about Kill City Cup.
Nice.
Recapping that, we were talking about how that we saw that we did the watch along not too long ago, and he was telling us some what they could do with a budget, some of the things he has in the future, and we were just talking about movies, what's coming out, Terrifier 3,
Yeah.
one of the major films coming out. He was just talking
Yeah.
about a show. What was the name of the show? From or
Yeah. From.
And what's that stream on?
Oh God, was it Apple
I
maybe?
thi-
Apple,
No, I think it's on Amazon.
Amazon.
Is
I
it?
can't
Okay.
even keep track. Everything. Even the other day watching football, every game was on a freaking different service. I was so agitated. I had Hulu for one. I had to go to Amazon for a different football game. It was ridiculous. Same thing's happening with the movies. They're all scattered. The worst is when part 1 will be on one service and part 2 will be on another and part 3 on another. Like, you need to at least get the whole series. Where are
Yeah,
you, Rob?
or they got 3 seasons out of 8.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's weird. I've seen that. Well, the famous one is I'm a big Twilight Zone fan, and for some reason they'll never have
Yeah.
the 4th season. It's the one where they showed hour-long episodes. None of them will have it because they didn't have rights. You had to get the special DVD or something. But yeah, TV rights is weird. 'Cause you'll have some places will have season 1 and 2, and then other places will have season 3, 4, 5, 6 of the newest season. And you just don't know why and who has the rights. But yeah, there really isn't. I don't know what else is gonna be coming on. I haven't really heard any other horrors. Have you guys?
No, but
Nothing new.
it's not just a horror thing. This year has been really mediocre for movies in general.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
It's just been an off year. Hopefully next year will be better.
Another one that I thought was good. It's been out for a while now, but they did that show Servant. I don't remember if that might have been Apple TV, but that's another one. That's actually M. Night Shyamalan. It's a TV series, and more of a psychological horror, I guess. I don't even know what you could really compare it to. Kind of a Hand That Rocks the Cradle type thing, I guess. Basically, they take this girl in and their kid died when they were young, the main characters. They take this girl in and all of a sudden they have a doll that they were replacing the kid with for the wife because she was going through stuff. and the doll comes to life, it turns back into their kid. It's really, it's a strange story, but it's good. I mean, I think you'd like it.
What's the name of the movie?
Servant. It's a TV series.
It sounds like that movie with the doll though. The doll there.
Oh, with Bram, I can't think of the show now. Brams is the character, but
The first one where they had the kid and the character. Yeah.
yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
They brought in the lady to kind of watch him. Yeah, but it seems similar to kind of that story, which I heard that story itself was loosely based on something real.
Well, this one's kind of a little different because the girl they bring in to watch him, like if she's not there, like when they boot her out at one point, it goes back to being a doll.
Oh,
shit.
so it's actually so it's
Interesting.
not just like a human pretending. This thing has supernatural powers.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm
pretty
not
cool. I'm gonna
familiar
have
with
to
this one. I'll
check
have
it
to
out.
keep an eye out for it.
I think you guys would like it. It's one of those. I mean, it's slow at points, but the storyline is good enough where it sucks you in. And like I said, it's M. Night Shyamalan, so you're sitting there waiting for the twist, and they do give you a few of them, but
What's the
Yeah,
name
but
of
he
it
doesn't
again?
deliver all the way.
called Servant.
Servant. I know he never delivers, right, Rob? I was just saying I watched the new movie, The Event, there, and the ending just kind of like, oh, did you see that one, Rob?
Which
They're
one's
at the
that?
the one where they're at the concert, the girl and the father.
Oh, Trap.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
Trap. I keep calling it The Event Trap.
Yeah.
It was okay, but again, it felt kind of flat of what it could have been.
Well, yeah, and they were saying that the twist was supposed to be the whole situation with the wife, and at the end, her involvement with it. But really, that wasn't much of a twist, if you ask me, not compared to most of his other films.
I mean, I guess I don't see that being really a twist. I guess the twist would be that he got away. I don't know. I mean,
Well, no, the twist was supposed to be that she set him up.
oh well, yeah,
But I mean, it's not much of a twist when you look at his other movies. I mean, even The Happening, like you were saying, it's not that good of a movie, but at least it had a twist you really don't see right away. And actually, to me, I didn't like the movie, but the storyline itself was one of those where I thought, that actually is pretty creative. I wouldn't have thought of something like that.
Yeah.
It's hard to transition it into film.
yeah. I mean, like I said, his movies have an acquired taste. I don't necessarily say they're bad. I don't necessarily consider them all horror, though. A lot of them are more psychologically drama.
Yeah.
They don't really install fear in me. They kind of install more like questions or invoke kind of a mystique where I want to know, what's going on. Here's Living Dead Girl now. The whole crew is here.
But I think
Who's? Ah!
Right?
Yeah.
Ah!
Who the fuck are you?
I don't know. Who are you?
No, I said, where the? Never mind.
No, we were just talking the M. Shaman film Crap. Earlier, Mason X came on. He was talking about the Kill City and working.
Oh, I
with that.
missed him.
Yes, but I did invite him to come back every Thursday night. To
Nice.
come on our show. He's a big horror fan, and I think he could, give some insight into what we talked about.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Now, Trap was that movie about the guy, serial killer in the concert, right?
Yeah.
I can't hear nothing. Wherever the fuck.
Yeah,
Rob
it is. She was asking which one Trap was, the one about the
Oh.
concert.
Yeah. Yes, that was the one with the concert. And you got the killer kind of in the loose and what's gonna happen. And to me, it wasn't really a horror. It was more like a thriller drama, kind of a Speed almost film. I didn't see really where the terror and the fear is. I mean,
But-
except the terror and the fear that there would be more terror and fear that there could be, like, to me, that there could be an active shooter at an event. But I
Right.
thought, and that's what I thought. I thought when I saw that this is really unrealistic that there'd be this many police force in this when we have active shooters at events and there's like not even that close to much security. But
Well,
they have
One thing that killed it for Shyamalan too was Sixth Sense. I think was his first movie, and that was a huge twist ending no one saw coming. So when you look at the movies after that, it's hard to really compare them as being as good. You know, I mean, you might be able to do it with something like Unbreakable, but
Unbreakable's in a league of its own, though. That's a different kind of movie.
Yeah.
I like I said, I really can't criticize The Village. I thought it was done kind of smart, and you know,
Eh,
it was
the
done.
storyline was good. I like the
only
storyline. The
problem
film
was
itself
I figured
was
out
so
the
so.
twist halfway through.
you did?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there was one scene where all the guys were standing outside, and then I was like, "Oh shit! They're all wearing modern shirts."
Oh, okay. Sounds like
Where are you
someone's at
at?
a motorcycle rally.
That's what I was thinking.
Rob's
No.
at the drag. Rob, are you drag racing?
No.
You drag racing at the
Oh.
drag show?
By the way,
No.
Jay,
Oh, look at that! You got your shirt.
yeah,
Nice.
representing my boy. No, but I think after M. Night Shyamalan, you know, it became like almost every movie had to have a twist ending, had to have that twist moment. And
Yeah.
it just got to the point, like Chad said, he figured it out halfway through the movie. So it's like what can he do now to really get, you know, get your attention? And Trapped, I thought was like a concept was pretty flipped. You know, this time you get to see how the killer's going to get away from the good guys. But I think the execution was, as Versace pointed out, it may have been a little too unrealistic.
Well, the thing is, there were options for good twist endings. I mean, before it actually came out, I saw a lot of people saying they figured the twist would be that the daughter was actually the serial killer, and that the husband or
Yeah.
the dad was actually protecting her.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's more of what you'd expect from Shyamalan for the twist ending. But yeah, to have it where like I said, the wife is the one that set him up or whatever, that's not much of a twist. I mean,
Because that's pretty much the plot line of Gone Girl.
pretty much. But if you watch his movies, a lot of them, you'll notice they actually do follow a lot of other movies as far as what the plot line is. You'll add in the twist, but a lot of the plot lines are similar to older movies.
Mm-hmm. And then you got to go back, watch it again, and see what you missed.
Yeah.
Some of them are worthwhile to do that. Others are like, eh.
Oh, I know Midsommar for me was one to do that because I had to watch it. I watched like a list of some of the Easter eggs you could find, so I had to go back and watch the movie again to find the Easter egg.
I'll be honest, I had to watch that movie like 4 times just to see what the hell was going on. And then by like the 5th, I kind of understood it. And then after that, I kind of really appreciate it. It's a good film.
It is. It's a really good film.
What was it?
Midsommar.
Midsummer. I like
okay.
I like culty films like that. I think that's why I think I like The Village, because it reminds me of a bunch of small villages getting, kind of, told what to do by, powers greater. Kind of similar to that, except these people were really kind of crazy. But
I still think my favorite I've had to rewatch just to see if there were more details was Triangle. I know we talked about that before, but that was one that I watched, I bet you 5 or 6 times within 5 or 6 months, just, seeing if I could pick out more details that I missed.
Is that the one with the boat, and the girl in the boat in the sun, the girl in the boat in the sun? Yes, I've seen that probably like maybe 3 times in a row one morning. I love that movie.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
There's a lot that just happens, and you kind of get. I think the horror scenes, the scary scenes in it are scary enough. The abandoned ship is a scary scene itself, being in an abandoned boat. And just having everything repeat itself. You watch it for the first time, like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on? And then you kind of put yourself in their shoes. It's like, what the fuck? all that deja vu.
But I love the throwback of having the killer wear the burlap sack. Instantly gave me
Yeah.
Jason vibes.
Hmm.
Yes. That doesn't happen often. Another movie I like, it's not by any of those directors or actors, but it's kind of weird, is the movie Mother. I thought that was done pretty interesting.
Oh God, no,
Yeah,
no,
You
good.
didn't like it?
not a bit. No, just no.
I thought that was a good movie.
That
You
was
know
a
what's in it.
bit too disturbing on my weird shitometer, as I heard one time. It was just, yeah, no. The scene with the baby, nah, can't do it. Nah.
It's better than the scene with the baby in a Serbian film.
Oh, that was a. I learned my lesson. Never look up most disturbing movies, because that does pop up on there, and it's one that you probably don't want to watch.
That
Yeah,
one's fucked. If you want
I
to
know
watch
what
another
you're
one,
talking about.
watch Salo. Salo is pretty interesting too. A lot going on in Salo. 120 Days of Sodom. It's fucking twisted, but
Oh yeah, I've seen that one too.
Cannibal Holocaust, another pretty good one, not bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shock movies
I
out
saw
there
that
are
one,
made.
Cannibal. I saw Cannibal Holocaust.
There's movies out there that are made just for shock, but that's what I was saying to you earlier. When you turn on the news and you see all this horrible shit, you have to almost come out with these movies for shock value, because it's like, how else are you going to scare people that can just turn on the news and watch real life horror?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
still think you should watch that Martyrs, the original version.
I would. I watch anything. I've watched all these films. Like I said, I don't really get squeamish. I get people get disturbed, but again, it's cinema.
I don't think you'd get squeamish with it, but I really think you'd like the storyline with it. Because they really did good with kind of, I guess not blurring the lines with the villain necessarily, but they kind of give you a twist on you're thinking the story's going to go this way, and then it just goes completely in another direction.
I'll put all these down. You said Martyrs?
Yeah, make sure it's the original.
What year?
2008 maybe.
Okay.
If it's the original, you probably won't know any of the actors' names. I know the remake had what is it, Troy and Bellisario in it.
Okay.
The remake wasn't bad either, but the original was, to me, it was way more disturbing of a story, I guess. Or maybe it's just because I saw it before I saw the remake, but to me, the original was way better.
Originals usually are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, your original's a lot more better than the remakes.
Usually, yeah.
Most of the
Yeah.
time, it's hard to capture the original feel of a story, especially because of when the story or the movie came out. It's hard to recapture the feel. Like I said, you could take any of the old movies back in the day, you try to remake them, and you remake them in today's world, 90% of them become null and void due to the cell phone. The cell
Yep.
phone alone makes these movies null and void. There's nowhere that they're going to be anywhere without a phone. A lot of
Right.
the times in the old movies, they were stranded without a phone. Well, now they got a cell
Yeah.
phone in their hand. So, you have to do the next best thing. No service. The phone's dead. But you can only do that for so long. And even now, today, people got portable batteries, phone chargers in the car.
Mhm.
Anywhere you look, you can charge your phone. So they got to keep coming up with ways, and you got to find these remote places on the earth that phones don't work, or out to sea movies again, very work very well, because a lot of the time phone services won't work way out in the middle of the
Yeah.
ocean or an island or something.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff will work, but modern slasher films don't really work as much as they used to, because again, that cell phone.
Yep.
The only exception would be Scream, because they actually use the cell phone or any phone as part of, they use it as part of the storyline, allowing them to use it or whatever.
Scream went around it because Scream was almost realistic kind of killing, where the killer was within a school in a small area, in a small town, knew his victim, and was able to play everything off. Could somebody pull that off? Maybe, you don't know. But as far as somebody chasing somebody in the woods or any of those early movies of people chasing each other, somebody would just pull out their phone, call 911.
Yeah.
Uh, if Janet Leigh's character had a phone with her in Psycho, people would know exactly where she was, and she never would have been murdered.
That's the thing. Although, I mean,
But would she have used it?
Touche. But then
Yeah.
again, if you had an iPhone, you got that "Where's my phone" option.
they would have tracked her, right? They would have tracked her body
Yeah.
to the phone.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, just
Oh,
technology.
she would have had
itself.
Norman's face on the camera, like
Norman would have used the phone. He would have been taking photos with the phone through the peephole.
yeah, selfie with it.
Yeah.
Like, hi, how you doing?
Speaking of it though, I wouldn't have mind seeing some riffs with Jason in a cell phone, killing somebody with doing a selfie. Here's your selfie, bitch. And then
Yeah, I know, right?
on him, taking the photo. Like if they ever reboot him, they should do something like that because I could see that happening.
Oh man. Yeah, after he just kills somebody, he just picks up the phone and then it's like,
You see his like Twitter blow up and his Twitter feed go or something. His social media network takes off. It's
Have you guys?
okay, let's ask a question here since you just brought that up. Which horror movie character goes best with what social media platform? Like I would say Freddy would definitely have an Instagram.
Ready for the gram.
Freddy
I
would
don't know. I
definitely
kind of see Freddy as more of a TikTok guy.
You think? Can people do real?
He's more the comical one. I can see that.
On where?
I see
I say-
Maya's on TikTok.
Yeah, Myers would be a TikTok guy. Definitely.
Jason would be more like MySpace.
Yeah,
yeah.
not existent, not even talking. Who likes to talk though? That's the question. Who likes to write? Who likes to talk? Because that's who's getting X.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
the guy
Leprechaun.
from Saw. Leprechaun
Chucky.
or the guy from Saw. Chucky.
Yeah,
maybe.
Chucky. Actually, if you guys get a chance to, Universal Horror Movie Night is actually running around. Chucky has a talk show.
Does he?
Yeah.
That's fun.
If you get a chance to check it out, it's actually really funny.
I saw they put Freddy's Nightmares back on Tubi again. They removed them and now they're back, and I'm very
Oh,
excited.
I'm watching that tonight.
Really?
Oh, I'll watch
I
that.
have the first season. I've been waiting to try to get the second one. Couldn't find it anywhere.
They keep adding it and taking it down, adding it and taking it down. That's what I was saying earlier. I love this time. Once the air gets cold, people Tubi, and Shudder both start adding horror movies slowly, even if they're older ones.
I actually found On Luck, Friday the 13th, the television series on YouTube.
It's awesome.
And if you guys get a chance to check it out, it's actually one of the first things that takes the name but uses it in a different sense. Basically, what it is, the shopkeeper makes a deal with the devil to sell cursed objects. He winds up going back on his word, and the devil takes him to hell. So his niece, her cousin, and his old companion are charged with trying to find these cursed items and bring them back to the store before they could be used for evil purposes. And we're talking everything. We're talking a ring, a phonograph, pool cue stick, a compact mirror, boxing gloves, a playhouse, all kinds of cursed objects. If you get a chance to check it out, like I said, type in Friday the 13th, the TV series. It's on YouTube. There's some really great episodes and some really great storylines.
Yeah, and
Exactly
basically to
what
sum it up, it's kind of like the X-Files meets the Haunted Collector.
Basically, yeah.
But it influenced Warehouse 13. That's the whole reason why they came out with that show, was based on, it wasn't completely based on Friday the 13th, but that's what inspired it.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
One of my personal favorite episodes has to do with the pool cue. And I'm not going to spoil it for you. You guys just have to check it out.
Yeah,
That and the compact. The compact actually makes 2 appearances in 2 different episodes.
Was every episode something different story?
Yeah, it's basically like a different cursed object. There's even a cursed comic book.
Wow.
You can believe that. So
That's fun.
yeah, everything is. So you see the episode, you see what happens with the person when they have the object, and then you see what happens when the object turns on them.
Oh wow,
Oh, that
that's fun.
sounds cool.
Yeah. So, like I said, if you get a chance to check it out, it's a really great series. I loved it
You
when I
said
was a
that's
kid.
on YouTube.
Yeah, Friday the 13th, the series. I found full episodes on YouTube.
So we were talking about the cell phone thing earlier. Has anyone seen the show Scream Queens?
I've heard of it.
Yes.
Long time ago.
I've heard of it.
Okay, so there's one of the episodes in there. Ariana Grande plays a part in there, but there's one episode in there where she gets killed, and I believe the killer does actually take a selfie of her during the kill. And she's sitting there, as she's getting killed, she's trying to type out a message on social media and send it out, and yeah, it's just hilarious. You guys would love it if you haven't seen it. It's funny as hell.
Check that out.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's a good
in
show.
Mortal Kombat X, one of the characters, I want to say Cassie, actually has a fatality where she is taking a selfie with her
Johnny,
victim.
I think it's
Yeah.
Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage does it.
Is it Johnny Cage? I thought it
Yeah,
was
No.
Johnny Cage.
It's Cassie Cage. She breaks their jaw and then she takes a picture or selfie with them. Johnny Cage does it in the new one.
In the new one, okay, I was gonna say it's Johnny does the selfie, and he
Yeah,
does it.
he slams them face first onto a Hollywood star and then takes a selfie with them.
I think
Yep.
that's great.
That's the game I
like
have. So that's the one I have.
The Cassie
I like
Cage
that.
one is better though because they show the social media responses and oh, that looks so fake. Oh, and just making all these different comments about the actual kill.
Yep.
10 was fun
That's
because
cool.
they brought in the horror characters. You could be like, I think Jason in there, right, and a few others.
Yes, Jason's in there. Leatherface is in there.
Freddy, he was in MK9. Alien and Predator were in one of them.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was the game. That's the one I
that's
have.
cool.
So,
The new game, it's Homelander, Omni Man,
Peacemaker.
and then you're gonna get T1000, Conan, and Ghostface
They're still releasing
nice.
people for the new one.
for the MK1. There's
Yeah.
3 characters they're releasing.
I have to re-download it.
Yeah, I got Mortal Kombat X.
I buy these games, I play them, and then like I buy the season passes, and I forget that they actually keep releasing content. Then I gotta go back and like get the content.
Yeah, I know. I think the last one that came out was Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Or no, Takeda. Peacemaker would be the last guest character, I guess. But one thing I always wish they would do, they did it before in, I don't know if it was like Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo type graphics. They did a game called Terrordrome.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. So basically, it's just a whole list of horror characters, but playing in a Mortal Kombat setting. And I always thought that would be a cool way to do a game. Just get a whole ton of horror characters and basically make it a Mortal Kombat game with the horror characters.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, knockdown, drag out fight with all the characters. See which one reigns supreme.
I
Well,
like,
you can do so many different kills with it.
Oh yeah,
And
me
there's
personally-
so many different
Well-
universes you could hit too, because you have like the Universal Classic characters you could add in, like Frankenstein or Dracula. You got the Pooniverse or whatever the hell they call it now. You could add in those characters if you wanted.
That's why I kind of like Dead Before Daylight. Like they keep bringing in character after character to that game.
Yeah, they have Michael Myers on that one, don't they?
They have
Yeah.
Myers. They just brought in Chucky.
Okay.
They're now gonna do a collab soon with Five Nights at Freddy's, which will be fun. They have Leatherface. They have Scream. They have almost every kill. And then they got like a whole bunch of made up killers. And then they got all the survivors too, though. So like I always play as Laurie Strode if I'm the survivor, and I always find it just they all have their mannerisms and play different. I don't know. It's just one of those games where I wasn't, when it first came out, it only had a very few characters. I was like, okay, I wonder where this will go. And then as the months kept on, they kept adding and adding all these franchises to the point that I was like, Jesus. I mean, I used to love to play like Friday the 13th again. Great game, but as soon as the lawsuit came out, they stopped all updates.
Yeah.
And the Killer Clowns game is kind of fun, but again, it's just that universe. But within in that,
I
game,
want to get that Killer Clowns from Outer Space game.
It's fun. I like it. I enjoy it. I
Gee,
enjoy
what a
playing.
shock.
It's a fun game.
Hey, the movie was good, even though everybody thinks it's shitty.
It's not. People love that movie. It's
Not me.
Oh yeah, it's a classic now. But
only Living Dead girl hates
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah,
Everybody
no.
else loves that one.
It was a
Okay?
one and done for me. That's all it was. Just one and done. I give it props for what it is. It's a cult
I bet
classic.
if you watch it twice, you would like it though.
Yeah, probably.
All right, I'll make a deal with you. If you can figure out a way to do a watch along, I will watch it.
I'll watch along. We will do a watch along.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll sit there and watch
Next-
it all day.
Next Thursday night, we are doing a watch along of Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
All right, you got it.
Nice. All right.
And I humbly invite Mr. Pickles to join us.
Okay.
So,
Not a
I don't
problem.
I don't remember the name of the game. They had one for Xbox. My roommate had it, where your character was like a guy in an asylum trying to escape. But it had some of the coolest kills because, like, they had things like you could use like a Walmart type plastic bag and actually suffocate him with it, or you could hit him with a bat, kill him that way.
Was it Manhunt?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
I played
started playing
Manhunt.
that game again. They just brought that game back. Like, it's literally the premise of that game is you're on a snuff reality show.
Okay. Yeah.
And you literally got to kill people. And one of the kills is you plastic bag them, and you literally you plastic bag somebody and suffocate them out.
Yeah.
You stab a piece of glass through another guy's neck. Like, you have to kill everybody on that set and not
Yep.
get caught.
One thing I always got a kick out of with the game, like I can't remember what the kill was, but you could somehow put a hole through the side of their head. So when you're carrying the guy around on your shoulders, you could actually see through that hole and see the scenery around it through the hole in their head.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Disgusting.
Yeah, but it brought in a different
Smart,
aspect.
but disgusting.
It brought in a different aspect to the game.
I want to emphasize that, okay? It was smart, but disgusting.
But you know, there's a whole list now of games. If you go back, I want to say it's by let me see if I can pull it up here.
I don't think I've ever really played any horror movie games. The
there's
there's a
really
couple of
good
good
ones. There's really good ones. There's the
Evil Within,
Yeah,
that was
there's a
good.
lot of good horror movie games.
But there's a whole genre of games that
The Evil Within, like you're a cop character in there.
I
and when
have
it
that.
starts-
I have Evil Within 2, the second one.
I haven't played the second, but I know like in the first when it starts out, you're hanging upside down from a chain. And you have to find a way
cool.
to get off the chain. You finally do. I played that level about 100 times because I couldn't figure out how to get past the first guy. Because anytime you tried to run, he'd chase you down, cut your head off with a chainsaw. Anytime you tried to attack him, same thing. Here you had to sneak away from him because you didn't have a strong enough weapon to kill him. So the whole first part of the game is all sneaking and using like bottles as diversions to get him go a different direction so you can sneak past them. And it was a good game though.
Yeah.
Or
The second
Fear,
one's
that was
good. You
another
play,
good one.
you get to mess around with like zombies and all that. Evil Within
Yeah.
2.
Had me till zombies.
It almost reminded me of
It's fun.
it reminded me of characters you'd see in like Silent Hill.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
No, I'm trying to find this one.
You have to rescue this dude's daughter and all this crap.
Yeah.
I never really got a chance to play any of those role-playing games like Silent Hill or anything like that. Seems like nobody I knew they had the games and they never played it when I was around, or they finished playing it as soon as I came around. So I never got a chance to experience those games.
Oh, we did a lot of those. Resident Evil was a big one when I was younger.
Yeah, absolutely. Resident Evil was huge.
I can't even think of the rest. Mortal Kombat was probably the biggest one I played. I mean, I was a huge fan of
Oh,
Mortal
yeah.
Kombat from
Yeah,
the
that's
start.
the one for me. That's the easiest one because unfortunately I'm a button masher, so I just go to town. Like
Well,
the only move I know to do is Scorpions. My boy Scorpions chain. Get over here. That's the only one I know how to do. Back, forward, punch.
like I love the games. I wish they could do better with the movies though. Like the original movie
Yeah,
was
me
good, but
too.
they stayed away from doing fatalities. In the new movie, they do the fatalities, but the storyline isn't that good. But to me, it's something where, like, if you gave it almost like what Marvel does with the MCU, where they do the limited series, the special presentations, and feature presentations. If you went that route with trying to tell all the different stories for it, I think you could actually get something pretty good for it. Do it more like almost like a Game of Thrones style.
No,
Yeah.
You know,
sorry, it took me a little while to find what I was looking for, but there's a brand called out there, company called Puppet Combo and Fortress Star, and they put out a bunch of games. Basically, they're like almost PS1 style, but they're modding games. Some made it to Xbox and PS, others only Steam. But like one of them, Blood Wash, you have to like you end up going in the middle of the night to clean your clothes, and you end up meeting like a killer. One of my favorites, Deadly Night. You're literally you wake up and the Christmas tree tells you to murder, and you dress up like Santa, and you got to kill everybody in the house before they escape.
No shit.
Rewind or Die, fucking awesome game. You start off as a Blockbuster almost employee. Somebody comes in and kidnaps you. You wake up in their house. There's other ones where like there's the booty snatcher thing. There's one I think it's called. Let me see. Rewind or Die is one of them. There's Night at the Gates of Hell, Blood Wash, Search Party, and there's one I played. Where is it? It was called literally like Puppet Combo. Yeah, it was literally. I start the game off, and I'm in a cemetery, and I gotta meet a girl, right? And so it tells you to go and try to find the girl in the cemetery. I wanna
Sounds like a
find
really
out-
bad dating app.
Yes, okay, it's called the Booty Creek Cheek Freak. And
The what?
yes, the Booty Creek Cheek Freak. And you
Sold.
start off
Okay.
you start off this game, you go in, you meet the girl at the cemetery. Now again, it's low poly graphics. The girl pops open her shirt, you see like some low fi tits. And she's like, "Did you bring the condom?" No, I forgot. Well, go get it, you idiot. And so you have to run back to your car. This girl's half naked. By the time you get back, she's fucking gutted and dead. And like now this killer's after you and he's trying to get your booty. It's crazy.
Well, I still think one of my favorites was I don't know if anyone's played Fear.
Fear is good.
My roommate was playing it one day, and I came home from work, and first thing he tells me is "fuck you." He's like, "I'm never playing this game without someone in the house, and while it's dark out, there's no fucking way." I was like, "Why is that?" He's like, "Because you don't understand what I saw, man." He's like, "You get these cinematic scenes where your character's running away, and all of a sudden you get hit by a bat out of nowhere, and then you're back into combat right away." Or you go into a room and there's blood dripping off the ceiling and everything, and you keep seeing this little creepy girl pop up, and you go to attack her and she disappears. And
Oh yeah. But like I said, I've been getting into those indie games because I started off with Steam and then I saw that Xbox got a few of them. And I just like it because they really remind me of an uncensored movie. It's like you got your major movies that you can't do X, Y, and Z, and then you got these games where you could do almost anything. Again, your norm character or your norm game wouldn't suggest you play some kind of, psychotic person who is talking to a Christmas tree, is telling you, in your 5 days before Christmas to start, you have to kill. And again, you got to kill everybody. And every night you go out, you go to these different stores, you kill as it leads up to Christmas. And then Christmas comes, you kill, 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 and then right up to New Year's, you got to kill, kill, keep killing. And,
Okay, I've got a little weird thing to say, and this is gonna sound odd, but I don't like horror movies based around Christmas time. I don't know what it is. I've never liked the idea of Christmas murder. I don't like.
I think it's
I don't like Silent Night, Deadly Night. I don't like.
I think it's my second favorite genre in horror is going to be Christmas horror because there is a creepy aspect of Christmas. Yes, you got all.
Yeah, there is.
You got things like what is it? Nothing is stirring.
Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Well, I still think one of my favorites was Better Watch Out.
Yeah,
Better
I
watch
get that.
out.
No, I'm not denying it. I mean, it's a great genre. I saw Violent Night, which I actually surprisingly enjoyed. Um, but I've never really been a fan of the idea of horror and Christmas going together. I can't explain it. I can deal with any other, like Valentine, I can deal with that. New Year's, whatever. But for some reason, I am not a huge fan of Christmas horror.
All the creatures were stirring. I recommend that one. I find that to be a good anthology horror.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I did see that.
I
For some
thought,
reason, my ex was obsessed with watching all those Christmas horrors, and it was just bad. They were just so bad. I think that was one of them.
I didn't mind that one. I thought some of them were pretty crafty, and some of them were done with shock factor. Again, I don't mind a good horror during Christmas time because, again, it's all joyous and bullshit. And honestly, Halloween gets maybe a half a fucking month, 1 month if tops, and then Christmas gets 2 months.
Oh my
I'm like,
god!
you know what? Fuck it.
Preach it, brother. Preach it.
That's why I'm like, fuck it. We've invaded Christmas time, and then most of it is horror. Krampus is horror. Santa Claus is based on Krampus. And Krampus is a horror character.
Well, that's why I like the fact that Halloween stuff starts coming in August, because it's like, all right, you people want to start Christmas in October? Fine, we're gonna start Halloween during the summer.
Yeah, but nobody wants to wear a fucking full costume in 90-degree weather.
True.
And the makeup is no good in the way.
That is not true. When I was living in Salem, I would see kids dressed up for trick or treating in August.
But most of those kids are dead.
Not
They're
people.
going to be cold. Okay?
Probably.
They weren't real. They were dead.
Then again, there were also evangelicals protesting the 4th of July, so that's kind of.
So the fact is that half of you guys wouldn't be able to wrestle in black hearts if it was a 90-degree day, and there was no AAC in there. Ain't nobody wrestling.
We did that in July.
And nobody showed up.
Hey, we did.
Nobody else did.
Yeah, but they didn't.
That's a whole other issue there for another show. So
this past Sunday was really good, though.
Yeah, but it wasn't 100 degrees out.
No, it wasn't.
I remember, Rob, when we did KPW, none of you guys wanted to work outside in the heat. You all said it was too hot to wrestle. You made the refs fight, and you, TJ, and freaking Tuff sat around and did nothing all day. We were out in the boons out in Tuff's house. So don't forget that. You guys were all like, it's too hot. But yes, I don't mind seeing the Halloween. Anyway. I don't mind seeing the Halloween stuff. I've also seen Halloween has kind of crept into Thanksgiving as well. We got a Thanksgiving horror last year. It wasn't that good, but it's starting to get there.
Well, that was made because the trailer was popular from the Grindhouse movies.
Yeah.
I think that was like the only, with a couple of exceptions, that was like the one movie people were petitioning to see. I mean, because we got Machete, we got Hobo with a Shotgun. I don't know.
That was good.
Women of the SS. I don't know. I seriously doubt we're going to get that. But Thanksgiving got a lot of people talking. People were wondering if Eli Roth was really going to make this film, and he did. Unfortunately, the execution wasn't as good as it could have been.
Like the Hobo with the Shotgun, I didn't even know about it till I think last year. I did end up watching it. For me, the big selling point was the villain in there. I think his name is Brian Howie, the actor, but I don't know if anyone's seen Black, but I love him in Black.
Yeah, it was like I said, that trailer got a lot of attention because, not to mention the fact, like Versace says, you don't see Thanksgiving horror movies except maybe.
No, don't.
What's that really bad CGI one?
Thanksgiving.
Was it Thanksgiving? It had to do with killer turkeys?
Yeah, it was fucking stupid, okay? It was a stupid ass film. And
yeah.
And that's the thing, you don't see a lot of it, but hopefully we see more of it. There's always room for more horror. There really is.
Yeah, I actually saw a trailer for a movie earlier. It's on Netflix. Surprise, surprise. I want to say it's called From the Inside or something like that, and that's what a bunch of college kids play with this machine that they put on their heads, and somehow it electrically switches everybody's bodies around. And I couldn't tell by the trailer whether it was people trying to get back into their own bodies or people trying to stay in the bodies they're in.
I don't know.
So it's supposed to be coming out on Netflix within the next couple, I think next month.
Well, hopefully, like I said,
You know, we were talking about there really hasn't been a lot of horror coming out this year. There is one I forgot about. There's a movie coming out called Speak No Evil with James McAvoy.
really.
It's a remake of I don't know if it was Italian or what, but a 2022 film. Apparently it got good reviews either way, but like
It sounds familiar.
the original version was pretty good. It's one of those where you watch it and not that it's huge on twists or anything necessarily, but it's one of those where just the idea of it is kind of disturbing in a way. But I mean, you got McAvoy in there, and that guy can play anything. I mean,
Yeah, he's a good actor.
He's got amazing range. He really does.
Yeah, I have to admit, even though I didn't like the movie, I thought he was really good in Split.
Yeah, Split was awesome.
Split was a good movie. I thought Split was a great movie. Actually, I thought it was something that was different. You don't really have a lot of movies out there like that. And having it fall into a trilogy was even kind of more, tying it into Unbreakable. It changed the way kind of movies were made. In a way, that was very clever. I thought, because
Mm.
especially with the time gap between the movies.
yeah.
Right.
And in that movie, you can see how good McAvoy is. I mean, just the fact that he's doing all the different personalities and how well he's playing the different personalities.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what really sold it for me. Like I said, I wasn't a fan of the movie itself, but just the fact that he kept slipping as easily into those characters like that, it was like, come on, boy. It's like he really did a good job with it. And then when he turned into the Beast, whoa.
Oh my God.
Good stuff.
And then
though.
Glass
Good-
went and ruined it all.
Yep.
I didn't watch Glass. I heard it wasn't that good though.
Yeah, don't bother.
Yeah, it's
What was that? What movie?
Pass.
fast.
Glass.
Oh, I never seen it.
Don't bother.
Don't really that bad, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an attempt to try to tie Unbreakable and Split together.
And it
Yeah.
ended up
Right.
ruining both
Way in the
movies.
left
Falls
field.
pretty short. Don't get me wrong, the acting's actually good in it. It's the storyline that's the problem.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
you're trying to bring back, like I said, the gap in between was a long gap, and you're bringing back characters that I don't know. In two different styles of movies. Now, granted, Unbreakable was your typical kind of Simon like film where you didn't know what the hell was happening, and there was a twist. It's some sort of twist, and in Split, pretty defined what the hell was going on here, what you were dealing with.
So I don't know if I'd call it a horror movie necessarily. Psychological something, but they've got a movie called The Endless. God, I can't even think of who made it now. They're not that popular people who made it, but like it's two guys. They used to be in a cult, and for some reason they decide that they're going to go back to the cult and try to disprove them, basically. And they get there, and the cult is like, I don't remember if they're like worshipping an entity or how exactly it works, but I mean, it's a really twisted story. There's a couple of really good twists in there. It's actually part of a trilogy. And I don't think either of the other two movies are really horror necessarily either, but all three of them actually I think you'd like. They're pretty good. I mean, one is Resolution, and then the other one is Synchronic, maybe.
Okay. Interesting. So I mean, we got a few things on the horizon, but I tell you what, we got coming next week is going to be some killer clowns from outer space.
Yep.
I know you're excited
And-
already, Living Dead Girl. I know you are. I'm
Yeah,
gonna make
you can see
I'm
you
making.
can see the joy in Gladys's face. She's like, "Oh God, really?"
I'm gonna make popcorn. For you.
Well, at least the clowns are better looking than Pickles, that's for sure. So.
Hey, Lisa Guzman.
Oh, pickles.
They're definitely more intimidating.
Hey now.
Pickles leaves a more sour taste in your mouth.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
And hey, maybe Twinkle Toes can jump in.
He might be viewing. We don't know.
Oh
It is
shit.
that season. We are
Yes, it
getting
is.
cold
Yes,
air,
it
and
is.
anytime cold air comes in, Twinkle Toes does come out. Anything can happen. I mean, really can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm willing to give it a chance again. I know that I know I'm probably gonna be, the queen of the facial expressions. You'll see me like, ooh, ew, what, huh? Everything.
Oh, that's why I'm here. I'm good for facial expressions.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh God.
Yeah,
I'll be like,
that's both the blessing and the curse of this. You can tell.
oh
when
shit.
I'm thinking. It's like,
Oh shit.
Come and play.
Oh shit.
the hell, Pennywise.
Yeah, this Pennywise. Oh shit. I love this crew. I really do. I really do.
This is where Pickles should get his lessons from.
Hey. He learns his own.
Since you have the mascot, who played it better, Tim Curry or Bill Skarsgård?
Tim Curry.
Curry all day. Tim Curry, the original OG. Tim Curry all day.
Nothing against Skarsgård. He took it and twisted it and made it his own. That's his fine character. But let's face it, Curry did it with style.
Yeah, just like how
I'd agree.
It's like comparing Batman. Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton, number one, but there's been great iterations of Batman.
True, except for George Clooney.
yeah, well, yeah. We'll not talk about that. Just like how
Yeah.
the new Crow movie.
Oh yeah, I heard bad reviews
Oh
about
my
that.
God.
Yeah, I heard a lot of bad reviews about that movie.
Okay, I follow Matt Hardy's wife, Rebby Sky, on Twitter, on TikTok, and she got invited to the premiere. So she and Matt went. So she showed the video about being at the premiere and stuff like that. But at the end of the video, she goes, "So we saw the movie, and let's just say you have to see it for yourself." You could tell by her tone of voice, she was like, no.
Yeah, because
Right
nothing
there.
beats the original too. Nothing beats the original too.
Yeah.
Well,
So that right there told me it wasn't worth watching.
and the thing is, I think it would have done better if it didn't have the Crow name attached to it. It's not that the storyline was necessarily bad; it's that it was different, and you just can't compare it to the original.
Leatherface, what's up, my boy?
Now we're fucking cooking tonight. Okay?
Yeah, what are we cooking tonight?
Now I feel like myself. Night away, having a good time. Yeah, I got all my Halloween shit down there. I forgot about that, and I remembered it not too long ago. Like almost all my mask costumes. Like that's great.
Man.
I end up with like 4 or 5 costumes.
That's cool.
Yeah, I gotta head on over to Spirit Halloween soon and start getting some stuff.
Well, now that you said that it started in August, I gotta go over there like tomorrow because like that's gonna be missing.
Yeah, it pretty much. I think it's pretty much. I think people who like Halloween are starting to, because since people seem to start Christmas before Halloween. I think this is kind of Halloween fans' way of getting back at them, because it's like, if you're going to start your holiday early, we're going to start our holiday early.
That's right. Yep.
Fine,
Right,
people are just
exactly.
freaks and like to dress up.
Yeah, I love dressing up. It's so much fun.
Oh yeah, I was huge with it during Halloween season myself too. Like even in school, I'd paint my face every year and go to school. I actually didn't get to be in my senior class picture because of it.
Really, that's fucked
Oh
up.
man, that's
Yeah,
That's kind of fucked up.
they rescheduled it, never told us what day it was going to be. Turned out Halloween was the day they picked. And I had my face completely painted with actual theater paint and everything. And no, can't be in the picture with that. So I basically told them, fuck you, walked home. It's like, it's going to take me 3 hours to get it off. So I'm going
Good
home
luck
to
with
do
that. Yeah.
I have to say though, I mean,
yeah.
I don't mind doing it early. I get the point, but at some point, like I said, what can we really do with it in July and August?
Oh no, it's not July. It's kind of like I want to say like the middle of August is when it starts because that's when the weather kind of starts tapering
Yeah,
off.
this year, honestly, is the first time I've noticed that I saw Halloween stuff coming out.
All right. I hate to say this, Versace, but unfortunately with the mask, I can't really hear you.
Yeah.
Ah!
Ah!
Put
Oh
it
my
back
God.
on.
Still look better than Rob.
Hey now.
Oh.
Oh.
Snap.
But, that's what I'm actually going to be, for this Halloween. Everyone's like, what are you going to be? What are you going to be? I was like, I'm going to be Rob. I just need to
Oh,
figure
that's
out.
terrifying.
It is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Found the
but
hair. Found the
Trash
glasses.
Man, Buckshot, or Vice President of the JWO?
Maybe
Trash
an
man.
iteration. Maybe an iteration of all three.
Oh shit.
Woo.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I see what they're doing though. I don't really mind it. I just don't want it to become a thing where it comes into October and I can't find no Halloween costumes for my kids because they've all been snatched in September. I hate
Yeah, no,
stopping
I
the shit
understand
early.
that. Yeah, I've learned the hard way sometimes that if you don't get your stuff soon, you get screwed when it gets closer to the actual holiday. So
Yeah, and I just don't like that. That when I grew up, you could go almost last minute, and the store would still have stuff until the next day, and that would
yeah,
all be 50% off. And now, since it
Yeah.
starts so early, everything's gone. The next day, there's nothing. It's the next holiday already geared up and ready to go,
Yeah.
and it will be as soon as after Halloween falls. The Christmas stuff will be right up. It's almost up
Yeah,
almost
they
ready.
skip.
Target. They're making a space at Target for it already. I swear.
Walmart too. Walmart especially is notorious for that, especially in the garden section. You'll see all the trees there right next to the Halloween stuff. It's
I
crazy.
usually just paint my face every year. I never really got too elaborate with it, but I remember one year I worked at the Holiday gas station. I don't know why I thought about this, but I actually razor shaved my whole head, took black face paint, painted the whole head, every part of it, and had just a little bit of red around the eyes, just the eyelids. Went to the store with like that. And my boss brought his daughter in. She was, I don't know, maybe about 7 years old. And she just started bawling. And so he's taking her back to the back corner of the store and trying to explain to her, oh, that's just Jesse. It's not, it's not a bad person. He's just in costume. I had to go over there and wipe part of the paint off my head to show her that I was actually a real person. I wasn't a demon or anything. And I loved it though. Most of the people, they'd come in there and it was the simplest costume. I mean, it's just black paint. And oh, that's so cool. It's like all I did was put black paint on. I mean, I should be getting in trouble for blackface at this point, I guess. But
Yeah.
But at some point, it was actually kind of a creepy thing to do when you think about it, because you'd almost look in the night look like hollow, empty. You wouldn't be able to recognize a face. It would be a creepy sight to see in the dark. I don't see as a kid. I don't really necessarily see the racial aspect of it. Obviously, it all depends on the intent, but I mean, I don't think you were intending to try to mock anybody as a kid painting your face. Because, what the fuck are you doing, Rob?
Rob's running away from the killer.
He's either running or beating up. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Okay, let's see what's going on. Hold on. He doesn't have his headphones on, so he probably can't hear us.
What's up?
Rob, what are
Sorry.
you doing? What are you fucking jogging? We're in the middle of a podcast. You're jogging, jerking off. What the fuck are you doing?
He's ready for the
Trying
serial killer. I'm telling you.
He is the serial
He's
killer. He looks
jogging
like
and jerking off.
fucking jogging, jerking. It's just drive by.
to-
Yeah, it's a drive-by flinging.
Oh, nasty. Like fucking Atlanta. Now he's ordering food at the drive-thru when he's on foot. I know it. He's doing some weird shit.
Looks like he's on a bus.
Oh, see,
Oh, are you on the midnight?
Yeah,
Are
I
you on
am.
the midnight train?
the midnight meat train.
He's on the midnight
yeah,
meat train.
that movie was good too.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, he's gonna deliver everybody
I
there.
like the
to
Midnight Meat
alien.
Train. It was really good.
You know, you watch that, you eat like you get a nice order of Five Guys, couple of double cheeseburgers, nice fries. You sit back, you watch the movie, enjoy it. It's a good time.
Well,
Yeah,
that
I
was
know.
quite dark, isn't it?
After I saw the menu, I had to have a cheeseburger. And if
The
you saw the
menu was a
movie,
good-
you understand why.
My wife hated it, but I thought that movie was hilarious.
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really a really expression about today's culture and how everyone needs foodie culture, how bad it can get. So
I like that other one too. It came out a couple of years ago on Netflix. I think it's like, what is it? It's about a jail, and basically the people on the top get to eat like the most food, and everybody gets like a platform. I thought that was done pretty interesting too, to show kind of hierarchy and how greedy of a culture we are.
But yeah, that one was well done.
yeah,
But, But I hate to say it, folks, we are almost out of time. Another great episode, though. No, we always have fun here.
all right. I just have one thing. I have my trivia cards here, so I just want to ask one question to
Yes,
see if
ask one
anyone knows the
question.
answer.
Because we are going to play next week before the movie.
Yeah, we will.
So, all right. So here's a sample. Here's a question for you. Okay, let's try to go with an easy one. Okay. What are the type of fictional entities that are a threat in Rec that came out in 2007?
In what?
In
Rec.
Iraq.
REC. Any guesses?
Been a while since I've seen that.
An alien?
Zombies.
All right. We have Alien from Versace. What'd you say?
Zombies.
Okay.
Kind of.
Stolt.
I'd probably go with zombies. I know it's not, but
All right, Rob.
call 'em.
I would. I'm going with what Versace said.
All right. So Versace and Rob say Alien. Robert and Chad say zombies. The answer is zombies.
Oh shit!
Wow. I missed that one. I didn't even know that was a zombie movie.
Yeah, it's, like I said, I don't even know if I'd really call them zombies necessarily.
Yeah,
I
it was-
remember they were human when
They kind of. They were kind of more like the guys from the Crazies.
Okay, yeah, kind of brainwashed.
Yeah,
Well,
they were like
I wish
Rangers.
I could say anything, but
Well, I have to say, it's been another great episode. We are going to start off next week's episode with this game, and then we're going to lead it into that watch along. It's going to be a special, probably longer episode. Well, the movie isn't that long running, anyways. But
No, the movie's not even that long.
so
she's like, we'll probably watch half of it, we hopefully. But we'll get to the end, I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah.
well, the
Make
relief
some
will be when
popcorn.
the end comes on the screen. No.
we'll make some popcorn. It's going to be a good time. You're going to enjoy it. People at home are going to enjoy it. So stay with us. As always, into the witching hour. We're doing something creepy. We're doing something fun. We're having some fun with some horror. We're bringing, talking about these things. So everybody, have a great night and stay strong.
Peace.
See ya.